She drinks every day. This last couple of weeks, she's been at the bar every single night, except for maybe 1 or 2 days. She had a CPS investigating us, and because she had the house nasty and stuff like that, dirty.
How much are you paid?
Huh?
How much are you paid?
He's paid like $52 an hour.
Suit affecting the parent-child relationship.
What are the names of the children in this case?
It's Donnie Aguilar the third, Joshua Aguilar, Araceli Aguilar, and Ileana Aguilar.
All right. Who do those children live with?
They live with me
How long have they lived with you?
since they were born.
All right. Did you and Miss Aguilar live together at some point?
Yes, sir. We're married for 20 years.
Okay. When did the two of you stop living together?
In February.
Of this year?
Yes, sir. In this year.
Okay. Who should determine the primary residence of the children going forward?
I do.
Why should it be you instead of Miss Aguilar?
I've had the kids since February, and like I said, she had a CPS investigating us, and because she had the house nasty and stuff like that, dirty. She wouldn't take care of the kids the way she was supposed to. Wouldn't come home, things like that, and then she's got these other things going on with the state board of nursing that with her appeal deal that's going on and things like that. So I just want to make sure that my kids are safe and have a stable home.
Okay. You covered a lot there, so let me break that down a little bit. You mentioned that CPS was called at some point. Why was CPS called?
Because Laura had called the sheriff's department on me because I wouldn't give her back her laptop until the house was clean, is what she had stated. But they came over here and everything like that. She left with them. I called her back the next day, come back home because the kids need their mom, and I was trying to do everything I could to keep us together, but it just didn't happen. I gave her an ultimatum in February. I said, either quit drinking or get out, because she was out drinking and driving with my son and my daughter and my two younger ones, Joshua and Ileana, and I told her that's enough. I can't jeopardize my kids like that anymore. So I had her move out if she wasn't going to get any help.
Okay. All right. You've raised a few more questions, and that's fine. So you said that Miss Aguilar called CPS on you.
No, sir. She called the sheriff's department on us.
Okay.
And the sheriff's department had then called CPS.
Okay. And why did the sheriff's department call CPS?
Because they seen the house, how dirty it was and everything. They wanted to make sure the kids were safe.
Okay, so the house was dirty, and so were you living there at the time?
No, sir. I was living in an RV in the back, just to kind of keep the conflict down to a minimal, between me and Laura, because we had been fighting quite a bit.
Okay, so you're saying Miss Aguilar kept the house in a, I guess, not livable condition, and CPS was called?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay, what was wrong with the house?
Everything. We had dishes piled up. I have a video of it. We had dishes piled up, but all on the sink. The floors were dirty. Laundry was piled up in the back. There wasn't any food in the fridge, things like that.
Okay, what was the result of the CPS investigation?
I started getting back in the home, and I started, cleaning up, doing whatever I could, painting, repairing things that need to be repaired, little minor things, and they deemed the house, that it was fine. The kids had everything they needed, and so they closed the case on us, and I think it was February 15th. It's when they closed the case on us.
Okay, and so that you got back in the house after Miss Aguilar left?
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned a incident of drunk driving. When did that occur?
It was on February the 3rd.
Of this year?
Yes, sir, of this year.
Was Miss Aguilar arrested for
No, she was
driving?
It was just she got home that afternoon, and you tell she had been drinking. She had just out there, and then those beer cans all in the car and stuff like that. And my son had told me already she had been drinking.
Okay. And which children were with her?
Joshua and Ileana.
Okay, and they told you the same thing?
Well, Ileana stayed with one of her aunts, and Joshua came home and told me.
Okay.
He had texted me before he even got home, but yeah.
Has Miss Aguilar ever been arrested before for a DUI?
No.
Okay. And you mentioned also that she was under some kind of investigation through her
Yes,
work.
sir.
What's going on there?
Through the State Board of Nursing, to the state.
Okay. What's she under investigation for?
For pill theft.
What did she allegedly take?
I don't recall right offhand. I know it was like a bunch of narcotics. It was hydrocodone, oxycodone, fentanyl.
Okay. In your opinion, does Miss Aguilar have some drug issues?
I don't think she has drug issues. I think she has money issues or something, because I don't think she's on drugs, but I know the drinking is an issue. That's my biggest part of it, is drinking, because, like I say, I just want to make sure my kids are safe.
Okay. Did the two of you communicate at all regarding the children? then?
Hardly any. Whenever we do, it's usually ends up in an argument. So we don't. I try not to talk to her as much as I can, but it's tough.
Okay. Who's been making all of the day-to-day decisions for the children?
I have.
Who's been making sure they get to school on time?
I have.
Who's been taking them to the doctor?
I have.
What involvement has Miss Aguilar had with the children the past 7 months?
None.
Okay. When was the last time she had any kind of visit with the children?
She hasn't.
Hasn't seen them at all in 7
She's
months?
seen them, but I mean, it's been 5 minutes at a time. On my daughter's graduation in May, the week or that weekend before, I had invited her. I said, hey, come over here and spend some time with the kids, and do some of this stuff with the graduation things. It's a busy week, so I said, meet me up here at the school, and whether the kids like it or not. So I want you to try to get back in with them. Try to make things right. And she went for that day, and the next day, was right back on to us arguing or something, and I didn't even tell her nothing. But then on my daughter's graduation, my daughter didn't even want her there anymore. So, I was like, well, I didn't want to mess up her day. So I was like, whatever you want. I said, I'll respect your wishes. So I went with whatever my daughter said on that.
All right. And just for clarity, y'all have an older daughter that's over
Yes,
18 and has now graduated,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Okay. What visitation do you want Miss Aguilar to have?
Visitation, like I said, it's got to be supervised or something like that, then to kind of give the kids some kind of, time period, to get used to her again, because they feel like, she kind of abandoned them, which she did, and I mean, it's rightful, for them to feel that, and they really don't want to spend any one-on-one time with her, so they want to, if they have to, then I would say, supervise, and then, probably just like a, a few hours here, a few hours there until they get used to her again. And then, if she gets some help and, can stay sober, then I wouldn't mind them staying overnight with her. Cause it's 5 kids. I mean, it's a lot to deal with.
What concerns do you have regarding visitation?
Just that she'll drink and drive with my kids. It's, and something bad will happen to them.
What safety concerns do you have with Miss Aguilar in general for you or for your children?
Just the drinking. Like I say, she drinks every day. This last couple of weeks, she's been at the bar every single night. Except for maybe 1 or 2 days. I mean, and that's just crazy. I don't. That's my biggest thing.
How do you know that?
I've seen her.
Seen her at the bar?
We got pictures of her car and everything at the same bar. 3 nights in a row, at another bar. One night, and then at a lot of these restaurants where she's they go out and eat. She drinks on the clock all the time. Lunchtime she'll be what was it right before school started. She was at a restaurant there in Plainview, Leal's, and she came out to the car, drunk, giving me money for the kids' school clothes and stuff. But I mean, she was just out there. You can tell she was, and I was like, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. What are you doing? But it's not my deal anymore. I said my biggest thing is just the kids' safety.
All right. And so, would she go back to work after that?
I assume she would some days, because she did the same thing when she was living with me. She would go to work and say she was at work when she'd be out at the bar drinking and things like that. It's been an ongoing deal, it's just it's been progressing quite a bit. So that's whenever I said, we got to stop. Something's got to change.
All right. Do you have any concerns about her having your address, your phone number, other contact information?
No, she's got all that stuff either way. You know what? I try to keep her in the loop on the kids stuff, so I try to do that, but I just can't have any, contact with her because she's physical contact, because I don't know what she's going to do.
Okay. So do you have concerns about meeting up with her for pickup and drop off?
As long as she's, within arm's reach away from me, I'm fine. I don't think she's going to try to do anything like crazy like that, like lunge at me or something. But I just want her, I like to keep it, as much space as I can.
All right, notice how this man is very reasonable and isn't trying to over-exaggerate or make false claims about the mother despite her current behavior. And investigations, out of all the court cases I've seen, I have never come across one where the father resorts to lying and false accusations in order to get custody or child support.
If you have any questions of Mr. Aguilar, they have to be in the form of a question. It's not an opportunity for you to give testimony, but to ask Mr. Aguilar questions about what he just testified to.
No.
Okay. Mr. Blackburn?
Call Miss Aguilar, Your Honor.
Okay, Miss Aguilar, will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can lower your hand. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, what is your full name?
Laura Aguilar,
And
or Laura Luna Aguilar.
you're the mother of the children?
Yes.
All right. Is it correct that the children have been living solely with Mr. Aguilar for the last 7 months approximately?
Yes, since February.
Okay. Do you have any issues with him determining the primary residence of the children going forward?
I don't.
For what it's worth, Your Honor, I'll offer this all payments made. This is the first page of Laura Aguilar evidence. Offer that as states 3.
Any objection, Mr. Aguilar?
No, ma'am.
Any objection, Miss Aguilar?
No.
All right, State's Exhibit 3 is admitted.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Aguilar, do you have any issues with Mr. Aguilar having your address, your phone number, that sort of thing?
No, he already knows where I live at, so.
Do you have any safety concerns with him or with anybody else?
I just don't want to be anywhere near him for sure.
Why is that?
We had an incident back in like Easter. It was around Easter. I mean, I have that police report included. That's why I'm not going to be anywhere near him.
What happened?
Well, I went to go take the kids their Easter baskets and all for Easter. And he kicked me out of the house, and he came out to my car, and he was shaking my car door. I was telling him to get away from the car, and then he spit in my face.
All right. And you called the police?
No, I was able to leave after he spit in my face. He walked away.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say, ma'am?
No.
All right. So, ma'am, I've done some calculations here for child support. I've calculated a pro rata amount for the insurance that you carry for the children at $465, and I've added up your amounts from your W-2s. That gives me a monthly gross of $10,056.74. That leads me to a calculation for child support of $2,548.20. Do you have any reason to disagree with paying that amount in child support?
No, that's fine.
All right. I'll pass this witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Aguilar, do you have any questions of Miss Aguilar about what she testified to?
Yes, ma'am. I do. If they had if you had made a police report on that, why didn't the police come in question me anything about spitting in your face or anything like that? Is that the same day that you rolled my hand in the window?
Hold on. Let's answer the first question that you have. Miss Aguilar?
Yes. Like you can see, I have the police report included with everything. So, I mean, police have my statement. Whether they went to go and question him or anything, I mean, that doesn't have nothing to do with me after that. After I did my police report, that's all I need to do.
Okay.
I didn't follow up. I just left it.
Mr. Aguilar, next question.
Was this the same day that you rolled up my hand in the window and that's whenever I was shaking the car door? Is this the same day?
No, you were shaking the car door before, and like I said, I have my cousin went with me just because I kind of knew. Well, I didn't want to be by myself, so my cousin was a witness to whatever happened.
You say you're scared to approach me by myself, but how many times have you met me by myself since and prior?
At the store.
At the store, at your work.
At the store where there's video surveillance, yes.
Yeah, and at the stores, and at your work. There's no video surveillance at your work outside the parking lot. I've met you a couple of times out there.
My coworkers were watching the whole time, so.
Same coworkers you go out and drink with at lunchtime? Is it the same coworkers?
Miss Aguilar?
Yes, ma'am.
He's asking you, are these the same coworkers you go out to drink with at lunch?
No.
Okay.
You say you don't drink on the clock and that you haven't had any reports of it. Isn't it true that your supervisor, Brian, also goes out and drinks with y'all during lunchtime? Isn't it true that he's taking you out like a few times on lunchtime to go drink? Is that?
No. My supervisor, Brian, is hardly ever there at the facility. He's always gone because he's regional, so he goes to different facilities. So.
Okay, then so where are the text messages between y'all getting drinks at lunchtime and meeting up at Goodfellas or at Chili's?
Are you talking about from the phone that you took from me? That's all I was like, ma'am, this is more allegations and stuff. This is from text messages from years ago.
All right. What time frame is this, Mr. Aguilar? Is it in the last 7 months?
Yes, ma'am. Or it was in the last 7 months prior to her moving out. And
Okay.
The thing is that the phone was backed up on the computer, so that's how I got the text messages.
Okay.
No, he still had, he took my phone. He never gave it back to me.
All right. Do you have any more questions, Mr. Aguilar?
She says that she'd given me all this money in cash. Isn't it kind of odd that it's just the cash payments that are to me and nothing else is to me, just the cash payments? After I told you to get money orders instead.
What's the question, Mr. Aguilar?
Why
Is it odd?
Why is it just cash that she says she gave to me? Because she hasn't given me any cash or anything, just the money orders. Why is she saying that she gave me cash is what I want to know.
Okay. Ms. Aguilar?
One time we did meet at Walmart, and I gave you didn't go near me. You sent Ileana to get the cash, and then she took it to you. So, I mean, the cash money, you got that in cash. I even have papers of you signing that you got that in cash.
Why aren't those admitted into evidence?
It should be on there on some of them.
Any other questions, Mr. Aguilar?
Yes, ma'am. One more, and I have one of her check stubs here from 1/8/24. And why does it say your gross pay is 45.66.67 on this one? Whenever you're stating that you only make 41.
Which document are you looking at, Mr. Aguilar?
It is a check stub that I have of hers showing that
Oh,
4,500.
that's just something you have.
Yes, it's when she left here at the house.
So, Ms. Aguilar, is your pay $4,566.67?
No, I've sent you all my check stubs. I even on the check stubs that I sent, they're all the same for the 4,100. They're all the same. There's no change in it or anything like that. It's the same.
You sent a current check stub, Ms. Aguilar?
Yes. I've actually sent, there's like 4 of them, and it's all the same 41.66.67. I think, or maybe on this one, on the 6/7, that one did go 43.66. So I guess I maybe did get, I did get a bonus on that one, and that was for the payday of 6/7.
You haven't got any bonuses this year.
Well, I didn't remember if I got any bonus. I know he stopped them. So
But this one right here shows 45. Why is that?
What facility is that from, Mr. Aguilar?
It's from Plainview Healthcare.
Okay.
You can see that there. Plainview Healthcare, and then
What's the date on it?
1/8/2024.
Mr. Aguilar, what is the $400? Is that a regular bonus, Ms. Aguilar, that you might get $400?
So like if I do work, like before I was getting 200 if I took on call for a weekend. So I guess maybe that day I did take on call for 2 weekends.
When's the last time you did that?
I really can't remember, because like I told you, he stopped all the bonuses. It's been, I guess maybe the last one that I told you, that 6/7, that probably was my last bonus, but I don't remember.
And also, don't you have people staying at your house regularly?
If I don't have the kids here, it doesn't matter who I have at the house occasionally. But
And it
that's
does
where
if
you
they're
come
of
in. You said you
a
have
character,
pictures.
it's a character
That
issue.
you have pictures of, which I
Yes.
mean, I kind of feel like you're kind of harassing at this point, because I mean, for you to be taking pictures of every car that's at my house, come on now. And whether I have friends over or not, then but I don't have my
Okay.
kids over.
Okay,
All right.
whenever you say I'm being unreasonable and won't let you take the kids, what questions do I ask you?
You haven't asked me a question.
I don't ask you who's going to
well,
be
you
there,
asked
where
me-
you're going to be staying at, and if you're going to be drinking or not. Those are the 3 questions I usually ask you, is it not?
Yes, and I told you I'm not. That it's just me. I live here by myself. I don't have anybody over. If I were to have the kids, I won't have anybody over. But if I don't have the kids, it doesn't matter who I have over at my house. I pay. I mean, that's my bills. I pay my bills. I don't ask you who you have over at your house.
Okay, so if you say you're only going out once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week, why is your car parked out there for 5-6 hours at the bars, everything like that? If you're only drinking 2 drinks or eating and things like that till 12 at night, most of the time till closing time, and then things like that. But I mean, if you drink
That could
on a
have been a day
Friday,
that I was out, but still, I'm just out talking.
okay, so like if you have the kids on a Saturday and you went out and tied one on a Friday, do you think that's good judgment to have the kids and you're gonna be right with them on Saturday? Because before,
No, I would not go out, Johnny. I've already told you this. If I have my kids, I have my kids. I mean, I'm not gonna do
Okay.
anything to
So you
jeopardize
said
them.
that you said this weekend I didn't let you take the kids because why? I didn't. You said you hadn't got to spend any birthdays with them. Why? Have I not
Because you
invited
always said
you?
you have plans.
Have I not invited you to come by?
Yes, but I will not go to the house where it's just you guys. You've already made me look like a fool
Okay.
multiple times. So
All right. All right. I think this issue has been kind of. I've got a good grasp of it, Mr. Aguilar. Ms. Aguilar, what is a place that you would feel comfortable exchanging the children?
I know like the sheriff station always said that I can exchange them there, like the police station here in Plainview. Because I mean,
Okay. Where do you reside, Mr. Aguilar?
I reside in Toya.
Okay.
It's about
What's a,
30 minutes away.
all right. What's a good exchange place for you, Mr. Aguilar?
It would probably be in Crest somewhere because whenever Laura left, she didn't pay the car, so we got to repossess. I don't really have a vehicle to drive back and forth to drop them off anywhere.
Okay. Where in Cress?
The bank right there in Crest it's got cameras and stuff like that. You know, there's a gas station there in Crest. It's got cameras on the outside too, but it's a
Okay.
little bit closer.
Mr. Aguilar, you requested supervised visitation. Who are you wanting to supervise that visitation?
I was gonna let whoever Laura decided, you know, besides anybody but her family, you know, I just want somebody that's gonna be, you know, neutral. You know, I mean, I wouldn't mind anybody neutral on it. You know, whoever she wants to pick, that's fine with me, just as long as it's, you know, non-related, you know, to either one of us, where it can stay, you know, unbiased. That's what I want.
And where would you want that supervised visitation to take place?
She can decide on that wherever she wants to do it from there. I'll let her decide that. As long as
So,
it's,
Ms.
as long as there's no,
Aguilar,
as long as there's like at a bar.
It sounds like the father is just concerned about her drinking and wants to make sure it isn't happening when the kids are around. He is also raising 4 to 5 kids on his own and has had to sell everything he owned just so they could keep the house, according to his testimony. All right.
Just briefly recall Mr. Aguilar.
okay. You are still under oath, Mr. Aguilar. You
Yes,
may
sir.
proceed, Mr. Blackburn.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Aguilar, would you agree that your children are old enough to communicate to you if there's some sort of issue with mom saying, hey, she's drunk or something's not right here? You'd agree with that, right?
Yeah, up to an extent. My 2 youngest ones are kind of afraid to, you know, tell me anything about it, you know. And even my oldest daughter, she said a lot of times she wouldn't, you want to say anything, just start fights, you know, just keep, you know, the peace a little bit, because that was her biggest issue, was the drinking.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I'll rest.
State is rested. That means they have no further evidence, no further testimony. Mr. Aguilar, do you have any further evidence or testimony?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Aguilar, do you have any further evidence or testimony? Okay. Close, Mr. Blackburn.
Your Honor, I believe the court should make appropriate orders for conservatorship and visitation. I believe the court should order Miss Aguilar to carry the insurance at a cost of, well, the credit for $465 a month for the cost for the health and dental insurance. The child support, I believe the court should order that to be $2,548 per month beginning October the 1st. As far as retroactive support, Your Honor, we're only talking about 7 months here. Mr. Aguilar did admit that Miss Aguilar was giving him $1,000 twice a month for the past couple of months. So I think it sounds like their numbers kind of align as far as what she's given him. I think there should be some retro, Your Honor, maybe in the neighborhood of $5,000. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Aguilar, what are you requesting?
I'm a retro for, and also for my daughter, my oldest daughter. You know, she was in school and Laura didn't help me pay none of her graduation, any of that stuff. So I mean, I'd like some of that back. You know, I mean, I've had to sell everything I own just to keep my house. You know, and it's been tough. You know, I mean, my kids have had to do without, and they've been high on it. You know, I mean, a brand new car, brand new everything, and we're struggling to make it.
Okay. And Ms. Aguilar, what are you requesting?
Well, whenever we first had our first hearing, I have paid a lot in the house, and even whenever I first left, I gave him $1,900 that first month. Whenever in February. So as far as the house goes, I mean, he has our house. I mean, I'm not even fighting for the house or anything like that. I'm having him. I'm not even doing anything about the house. I just pretty much, I'm leaving it as it is, and I don't want anything to do with that house. So
Has anyone filed for divorce, Miss Aguilar?
I haven't. I'm on the verge of filing for it. I
Okay.
just have to come up
Okay,
with
that's all I need to know. All right. Anything else?
I don't know, man.
no.
Okay. All right. I will find that the children live with Mr. Aguilar and that Miss Aguilar, that the parties are married and Miss Aguilar is separated from Mr. Aguilar. I will name Mr. Aguilar sole managing conservator of the children, with Miss Aguilar being named a possessory conservator. Mr. Aguilar will be the conservator with the exclusive right to determine the primary residence of the children without regard to geographic location. I will order Miss Aguilar to maintain health insurance and dental insurance for the children. I will order current child support at $2,520. Oh, wait, $2,548. Is that correct, Mr. Blackburn? $2,548 per month beginning October 1st, 2024. I am ordering $7,000 in retroactive child support to be paid at $100 per month beginning October 1st, 2024. Court costs will be assessed against Ms. Aguilar to be paid 1 year from today's date. As to communication, I am ordering that the parties use app close to communicate with each other because it doesn't sound that their communication is very effective. That app close is a free app that you download and that will allow you, Mr. Aguilar and Ms. Aguilar, to communicate with each other and to lower any contested arguments or disagreements that you have. As to possession and access, I'm ordering that the parties may have possession and access at any time in which they mutually agree. I haven't seen a lot of times or opportunities during this hearing in which I think you can mutually agree, but it could be possible once you leave here today. So you can agree to any type of visitation. Aside from that, I will order a modified, phased-in possession schedule just to get you reacquainted with the children again. And the first 5 visits will be supervised from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Saturday. It sounds like the two of you may be able to agree on a supervisor and may be able to agree on a place for exchange. I will order the exchanges to take place at a location as agreed to by the parties and the supervisor as agreed to by the parties. After the first, those 5 visits are completed, possession will be on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Saturdays of each month from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. for 5 periods of possession. And once those are completed, then 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Saturday of each month for 5 periods of possession. After those are completed, one night overnight from 6 p.m. on Friday to 6 p.m. on Saturday. Let's make those Saturday to Sunday. I'm sorry, Mr. Blackburn. 6 p.m. Saturday to 6 p.m. Sunday for 5 periods of possession. And after that, we'll flow into a standard possession order every other weekend, every other holiday. One additional element of the modified possession schedule, I am going to add Thursday possession from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. to be exercised either electronically or supervised during the supervised phase or unsupervised during the unsupervised phase, if that makes sense. So if you're exercising weekly Thursday visitation during that period of time that you have the 5 supervised visits, those will also be supervised visits during that 5 periods of possession, or can be exercised electronically, either through the app or through some other, a telephone or video. One restriction I will make is that there will be no alcohol to be consumed by Miss Aguilar or any intoxicating substances 12 hours prior to or during any possession and access, whether that be during the modified possession and access or the standard possession order. That means absolutely no alcohol to be consumed by Miss Aguilar.